Greetings peeps, here we are with my top picks for this week's best LEGO deals for the UK, USA, EU and Canada. Timestamps below, but let's jump straight in, starting with the EU. For yourselves, we're going to kick things off with Amazon, and we have one of my favourites of the new Speed Champions released this year. It is, of course, the Dark Horse Mustang, a mean-looking, cool machine. Now, 30% off? This is very decent. If you collect Speed Champions, you want to be picking this up at this price. It's great, and if you don't collect them, consider it anyway, because this is a cool thing to have on display and play with. Now, also at Amazon, you can grab a decent discount off of the new Technic Mercedes AMG, discounted from €220 down to just over 160, which is definitely better than a smack in the face with a wet fish. So I wouldn't hang about on that one. Alternatively, over on JB Spielwaren, you've got lots of discounts currently on, from Ninjago sets through to other Speed Champions that we'll look at, and of course the new Animal Crossing sets, all of which are nicely discounted. Bearing in mind though that of course May the 4th is coming up, and actually as of May the 1st we're going to have official release of all the new Star Wars sets. You can already grab a discount when pre-ordering this one, Grogu's Escape, and I do suggest that you get it at a discount if you're going to get it at all, because quite frankly I think it's overpriced at that retail amount. Maybe just my personal opinion, but that is a little bit more like it. I think that should have been the retail price to begin with, quite frankly. I do much prefer the Droideka. I think that's better even at retail, so again, pre-ordering this with a discount is brilliant. Now, interestingly, although these are supposed to be releasing on May the 1st, there have been rumours that actually they'll be available from April 30th. Well, funnily enough, that's the date that's currently on here. So it will be interesting to see come April 30th if these do actually appear on LEGO. If they do, bear in mind that ordering them that day will mean that you miss out on the GWPs, because those are not going to be available from LEGO until May the 1st. Interesting. A person with a suspicious mind might read something into that, LEGO. Anyway, you've also got a discount off of the Mos Espa Pod Race, which is brilliant, so you can grab a nice discount straight off the bat there for those sets. If you're not bothered about the GWPs and you want to grab them, straight away at a discount, you just have to wait and see what works out better for you. Naturally, if you want those promos, there'd be no point in getting these outside of LEGO. You're just going to have to weigh up the value of those versus the discount. Then back to Speed Champions, and we have a nice discount again off of what was probably my favourite, the McLaren Formula 1. I do think it's the best Formula 1 car that LEGO have done in the Speed Champions line yet. Great looking thing. And likewise, the Audi S1 e-tron, mean looking machine. Again, nice little discount. And the same with the BMW 3-pack. Now, the reason I'm not highlighting the Dark Horse on here is simply because the 30% over at Amazon is better than what they've currently got going on at JP Spielwaren, but just on that particular one. And just to round out, you've also got a discount off of the Porsche as well. So some nice savings to be had there. Then over at Intertoys, you've got a decent one as well on the Ninjago Stone Dragon Shrine. Probably my favourite from the recent Ninjago wave. I just think it looks really, really good, and that is a very good price to be grabbing it for. You've also got the same saving off of the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo, which is probably the runner-up in terms of my favourites out of the recent wave. That said, Intertoys do have discount across the entire Ninjago line at the moment, so I'm just sort of picking these ones out. So do just go on and have a look. There may be other ones on here that you prefer the look of. I just think that these three happen to be sort of the pick of the crop out of those, quite frankly. And then also just a shout out for those of you in Germany. Lucky Bricks, again, is allowing you to pre-order the TIE Interceptor at a discount. Just bear in mind that although you can pre-order it, the availability for shipping is actually later than if you bought it elsewhere. Now, although this is available at a discount, and it's for that reason that I'm showing it, I actually suggest that you don't do it this way, because even if the gifts with purchase mean nothing to you, you're actually better buying this off of LEGO directly, getting the Insider VIP points, and of course the gift with purchase, which even if you don't want it, you could easily sell on the secondary market, and what you're going to get back for that is going to be a lot better than the small discount that you're seeing here. So just bear that in mind, and to be quite frank with you, the same thing goes with the ones that we looked at earlier from JB Spielwaren. It's just that time of year where you're going to need to do a little bit of clever math to work out what works out best for you. All that said and done, let's now head on over to the UK, and once again we'll kick things off at Amazon. Now, the Yavin 4 Rebel base, this has been heavily discounted for quite a while. However, this is why I'm mentioning it. First of all, it has been discounted slightly further, so now sub 100. It does come in at a very good price. But we do now know that, of course, we're getting a Death Star playset coming later this year. Now, that's going to be along the same vein as this style that we see here. So if you want to get that, you might therefore also want this, in which case obviously grabbing it now when it's heavily discounted does make sense. So that's the reason I'm mentioning it, just bear that in mind. Then a quick mention for Argos, because there is currently 20 to 25% off of the Marvel range. Now it is a limited range, it's not all of them, so there might not be anything here that you like the look of. However, there are certain things that I like. Quinjet, which is been on discount for a long time now, but that is a decent price and I do personally like it. And things like the Venomized Groot, etc. So just have a little look through. They're decent prices. There might be something on there that you want to grab. Now though, over to Smith's Toys, and I need to address a question that I've had in the comments previously. Now, a few people have been saying that they are wanting to get the likes of the UCS Millennium Falcon, but they're waiting until May because, you know, there should be extra insider points on the table, along with gifts with purchase, etc. Well, the problem with that is that you're paying a really high amount on Lego just for the sake of getting one lot of GWPs, because you will only get one lot with the one set. The fact that it's way over the threshold doesn't matter. You have to split things down into separate orders if you want to get them multiple times, and obviously you can't split this down into multiple orders. I mean, you could send Lego an email and ask them to cut the box up into several sections, but yeah, I doubt that you'd get a very sensible response from that. So basically, it's not worth actually getting double points or anything like that on a set like this. It's much better to pick it up whilst it's heavily discounted like this now on Smith's Toys. So just bear that in mind. If you're going to get it, to my mind, that's the way to do it. You know, likewise, quite frankly, on the small Millennium Falcon, probably one of the best ones that we've seen. I mean, I do like the new one that we've got in the MIDI scale, the Starship Collection, but I still think that this is probably my favourite personally. So again, if you haven't got it, I'd recommend it. And likewise, at this sort of price just makes more sense than getting it at retail just for the sake of the few extra VIP points. Anyway, moving on, a quick shout out. I've almost sold out of the Great Wave sets that I've been doing on Bricklink. I'm probably not going to be getting any more. Now, yes, this is more expensive, but it's still a nice saving. So if people do want this, Smith's Toys, you know, this is not a bad price for this set. I really like it, think it's great. So I know there's still interest because people have been buying them from me. If you want it, this isn't a bad price on Smith's Toys at the moment. So, you know, I'd go and grab it. And then obviously a shout out for Optimus Prime. I've started to see trailers for the new movie coming out now. So again, popularity in this is just going to grow, and it is a great set. So I don't think we're ever going to see a discount like we did going back about 6-7 months ago when I was picking this up for, well, basically 50% off retail. But that is still a decent price for this set. So I would strongly consider having a look at that. Then heading over to game, I'm not going to rehash old ground because it's much a similar story to what we've looked at over the past few weeks. Discounts off of a wide range of sets, including a lot of the new ones as well. So definitely worth having a look at. But of course, again, with everything Star Wars happening in less than a couple of weeks now, obviously have to give a call out for the new sets that they've got on there. These are nicely discounted. Now, obviously, again, these should count towards your promo gift with purchases if you're buying them from Lego come May. But then again, you might just want to be getting the brand new sets that are coming out. So it's very much going to be down to whether or not it matters to you about that as to whether you're going to be getting these from Lego directly. If you're not, good saving to be had on them at the moment from game. I don't know how much longer this is going to last though on there, so I wouldn't hang around. And then my last pick for the UK, the big Hogwarts castle has come back around on Savvy Zavvy. Sadly, not quite as much of a saving as it was before. It was over £100 off, but if you missed out then, it has come back around, so still a pretty amazing set. I've got it quite prominently on display, but it does take up quite a bit of room, so just bear that in mind. Anyway, with that said and done, let's now skip over the pond to the USA. Right then, quick pit stop at Walmart, and we've looked at this many times before, so I'm not going to go into it a lot, but it's just to let you know that they do have savings at the moment off of the retiring Harry Potter line. The biggest saving currently being off of Dumbledore's office. So those should be disappearing this year. If you want to grab them now, it's your chance to do so. But more interestingly, a quick shout out for this. Now, why am I showing you this? Because Grogu's Bark Speeder Escape that's come out has once again got exactly the same Grogu that we've seen in every other set. So it's not worth picking it up for that reason. If for some reason you don't have Grogu or you don't have the Mandalorian, this is a really nice cheap way of just picking up both characters. And I want to highlight that because frankly, I do think that the new Bark Speeder Escape is overpriced. Now then, for some bigger things. If we head on over to StockX, the Disney Castle is currently selling at a big discount. Now, once again, you can obviously put in a lower bid. It may be accepted. I doubt that any of the sellers that have this, though, would want to sell it for less than this. I think this is a good price. Now, bear in mind, of course, depending on what state you're in, the shipping and fees will vary slightly, but nonetheless, this still works out significantly cheaper than if you were to buy it through Lego directly. It's quite a nice saving to be had, in fact. This is, of course, the pinnacle of all Disney sets, effectively, so if you are a Disney fan and want a rather magical castle, this is definitely the one for you. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm not personally keen on the minifigure lineup, bit of a shame, but the castle itself is absolutely incredible. So good saving on that. What a lot of you will prefer though is this, yes, the Avengers Tower. Now likewise, allowing for a slight variation in shipping and fees, it's still going to come in at a big saving. Anywhere from sort of $70 to $90 off of this particular set. So again, a pretty amazing deal. And just to address something that I've seen in the comments, a couple of people who've never used StockX before have asked, whether things come through okay. Personally, I've never had an issue. So yes, not a problem at all. That said, I've bought things from Amazon throughout the years without an issue. And then one time a box came through really badly damaged and they gave me terrible customer service about it. There's no firm guarantee, unfortunately things like that can happen, but yeah, personally I've never had an issue, which is why I'm happy sharing it. And just as I show you stuff on Amazon, that's why I'm okay about doing it on here. I wouldn't do eBay unless it was things like a professional seller that had lots and lots of copies, because there would be no point me sharing things with you where there's only one copy or something. But obviously on this there are quite a lot, so it's a good way of grabbing a discount. I've never had an issue. That's not to say that things can't happen. That's just the way it goes. Moving on, and Savvy Zavvy still got a nice discount off of the Hocus Pocus Cottage. Covered this a couple of weeks ago, so I won't go over it again, but I am a big fan of this set. The only problem really is the scaling. This is a similar sort of size to the likes of the Snow White's Cottage that's just come out, so actually looks good alongside that. But if you were going to put it in the vicinity of a medieval castle, then it wouldn't work scale-wise, so just bear that in mind. For Technic fans, obviously the Ford GT still on offer over at Target, however it has been discounted a little bit further, so if you haven't got it, now might be a time to consider doing so. It gets a hard rap, this set, and all I can say is personally, I like it. I quite enjoy putting it together, but admittedly, not as much as this. I really like the bonsai tree. And whilst Target currently have a saving off of quite a large amount of the sets in the botanical line, this has got to be my favourite by quite some way, actually. Good little saving on it, so I would suggest grabbing that if you haven't already. Alternatively, if architecture is more your thing, they've got about $15 off of the New York skyline. I can't say actually that this has ever appealed to me. I'm not that much into the architecture sets. But again, it's all personal, isn't it? I'm sure that some of you watching will be. And that discounted price is certainly not bad. It works out a lot better on a price per piece basis as well. Now, let's just cover some things in the run-up to May and the new releases. Now, there's a few sets that are going to be going on sale. I'll probably cover those close to the time, but I just want to give a quick heads up for a few things. Now, the likes of our X-Wing Starfighter here, there have been sales on this in the past. There's ones that we've covered which have been, I think, sort of up to 10%. Here's the thing. Come May, there's going to be 4 times VIP insider points up for grabs on this, which basically works out about 20%, off of the price. You still pay full price, but that's effectively what you're getting back, in points. So in that respect, definitely worth picking it up while that offer's running. And it should be from the 1st of May through to the 5th. Now, also with 4 times points is this, the UCS 8080. What an incredible set this is. Retirement dates have been moving around, but it is tipped to be going actually by the end of this year. Whether that happens, I wouldn't like to put money on, to be frank. However, the thing is, it can't stay around forever, and either way, what an incredible set this is, but it has a hefty price tag. 4 times double points, pretty much the best that you're ever going to see, I think, on this sort of set. So I would wait for that. I think actually Savvy Zavvy have a small saving off of this at the moment, but compared to 4 times points, it's just not worth going near. So I would actually wait until you get that less than a couple of weeks. Once again, 4 times points apparently going to be coming on the Master Builders Mos Eisley Cantina. This is just such an incredible set. Again, 4 times points really shouldn't be sniffed at. The Coruscant Guard gunship, I think we covered this, I don't know whether it was last week or the week before, on a small saving. And whilst that was good, again, 4 times points, it's just better. If you're not a Legos insider and you're over 18, then it's free to join, free to sign up. If you're under 18, I don't know, see if a parent or guardian or somebody would do it for you, because it just makes sense, really, to grab it. And there's also going to be that Onshin Hatti's Starfighter as well, which I've always really enjoyed as a set. So we will look at those, in proper depth, probably in my next video. I'll probably push back my next deal video a bit because there's no point doing it a couple of days ahead of the May releases. So it might be just over a week until I do that next one, and then we'll go through this in detail along with all of the sets that are actually physically discounted, not just extra points. But quite frankly, 4 times points on these sets. Bear that in mind, because what you don't want to be doing is obviously picking these up elsewhere for something that doesn't work out as well. Especially considering that any of these should also contribute towards the GWPs that you'll be getting at the time. If you're not sure what those are, check out the video that I posted yesterday. Should come up on the end screen. If not, I'll link to it in the description below. I go through all of May's sets that are being released, including those GWPs. What you want to do is some clever math to work out what you want to be ordering in order to get the most amount of GWPs. So, for example, let's just say you wanted to get these 3, or even, doesn't matter. You wanted to get one of these, and you also wanted to get some of the new Star Wars releases that are coming out. Don't do it in just one order, because you'll only get one of the GWPs. It makes more sense to break it into orders. The most expensive one for yourselves in the States, price threshold is $160. You need that for the... Okay, this is easier. Right, so if you basically want this, it's $160 spend. I don't know why it's come up saying £145. My VPN must have dropped out. It's $160. Okay, so split your orders down as closely to that as the maximum, and that way you should get multiple copies of these. It does say in the small print no more than 1 per household, but it's never been an issue before. But of course, this is going to be a really popular one, so I wouldn't be surprised if they sell out of these within, maybe 3 days. They're not going to happen in the first day, but, it will happen. The other thing is, you could always do an order online and then go down to your local Lego store. As long as you split it into separate orders, you should be able to get multiple ones of these. But just bear that in mind. Don't go sticking everything into one order, because then you're really going to miss out doing it that way. Okay, so there we go. That's my little piece. Now, let's head over to Canada. So, hello, Canadian friends. If you haven't watched the version for the United States, go back and do that, or the last sort of part of it, for important information that's also, in most part, going to relate to yourselves for the upcoming Star Wars releases. In the meantime, the sale on Indigo is coming to a close. There's not that much left on here now. Most of the good ones have gone out of stock. The Black Panther bust is still available, although apparently not available for free shipping, which seems strange. I've not noticed that before, especially at this sort of price. It's still not fantastic. We've seen it cheaper. It was such an overpriced set, but if you do want it, at least this is a big discount compared to retail, even though it's still a very questionable price for this piece. But it's one of the few ones of the larger sets that they've actually got left in stock. Things like the Bowser, Hedwig, UCS R2-D2, they have gone out of stock now, so you can't really blame them. It has been running for quite a few weeks. Similar story with JR Toy. Most of their things are coming to an end. I still recommend this, the Lunar New Year Parade. It either appeals to you or it doesn't. If it does, it's nicely discounted. I never recommend getting these, obviously, when they first come out. But if you wait a bit, you do see big discounts like this. For newer sets, though, Amazon have got some discounts off of most of the Sonic sets, to be fair. I think the best one probably is... of the new ones anyway, is this Knuckles versus Rouge. 20% off of that makes it a lot more reasonable, and it is a fun little playset with some great minifigures in it too. So do recommend that one. Likewise, also this one, which came out in January, I think it was probably my favourite of the Creator 3-in-1s recently. Definitely one of my favourites of the recent Creator 3-in-1s, the Giraffe. Absolutely fantastic. You can also turn it into a lion or a gazelle, but I do think the giraffe is my personal favourite. And then a quick shout out, obviously, for this older set, but 30% off, a lot more reasonable. And I'm mentioning it because, of course, we're not too far away now from the other Batmobiles that are coming out. You're going to get the one based off of the animated series and then one off of Classic. So if you want to catch them all, to quote Pokemon, or you just want to pick up a really good one at a discount, this is the time to do it. I think it's a really cool set, and to be fair, this is now a much better sort of price for it. Then, with obviously all the Star Wars hype coming up, nice discounts across the, not all, but most of the helmet collection on Amazon, ranging between sort of 20 to 30% off. I do like Clone Commander Cody, is one of my favourites, obviously with that new Brickhead coming out as well. But just bear in mind though that if you watch the end of the version for the States that I've just done of this video, I mentioned that there are going to be sets that are going on sale. That's in addition to the ones that are going to be getting, 4 times VIP insider points. One of the sets that's apparently going to be going on sale is this, the Emperor's Throne Room. However, the Lego price is still not going to be as cheap as what it's currently sitting at on Amazon. 23% off is going to be cheaper. Now, obviously, it's then not going to contribute towards your GWPs, so you do need to bear that in mind. But if you only wanting this for some reason, which I admit is unlikely, but in principle, if you only want this, it still makes more sense to actually buy it now off of the likes of Amazon. However, if you're wanting things to contribute towards, getting towards those GWPs, then obviously wait, because in about a week and a half's time, obviously come May, in addition to those new Star Wars releases, there is going to be a sale on items. Now, whether you also get the points, I haven't seen that confirmed yet for Canada, but it would be a real kick in the ghoulies if they didn't give it to you, so I suspect that will happen, so it is probably better to wait. But there we go. That's it from me this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider hitting that little like button and obviously the subscribe as well. I assure you it'll be the highlight of your day. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.